Well, folks, we're here with the third Blade film. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well out there. And today we're going to talk about the third installment in the Blade trilogy. But before we get into it, like, comment, subscribe, join me here. I greatly would appreciate that. Click on the little notification bell. That way, every time I upload a video, you'll get notified. And then you come back and see what the hell is going on over here. Today we're going to talk about Blade Trinity. Yes, we are that one, folks. I saw this opening weekend back in December 8th of 2004. It's rated R. It's an hour and 53 minutes long. Had a $65 million budget. Was the biggest budget out of all three films. Made 52 in America and 131 worldwide. Just like the first two films, this one was written by David S. Goyer. And they offered Guillermo del Toro the directing gig. He turned them down to go off and do his passion project, Hellboy. They actually went to Stephen Norrington, who directed the first film. He turned them down as well. David S. Goyer actually suggested a German director, Wesley Snipes being the star of the film, and a producer nixed that, and they let David S. Goyer direct this film and making this his directorial debut, which you can tell, and we'll talk about that. Cast-wise, we got Wesley Snipes back as our title character, Blade. We got Chris Christopherson back as Whistler. And now we're going to talk about our new cast, which is a ton of them. We're only going to talk about a few of them here, and we'll get into the plot. Ryan Reynolds is in this film as Hannibal King. Jessica Biel plays Abigail Whistler. Yes, Whistler has another daughter that he never told Blade about, which smells a little like bullshit. Yes, so there we go. That's one of the other negatives in this film that does devoid of logic right there. Parker Posey in this film is Danica. She's miscast as can be. Dominic Purcell, another one who's miscast, plays Dracula, or Drake as they call him. I hate that name. Triple H from WWE fame is in this film. He's an enforcer. He gets a lot of screen time, and he's fine here. And the great James Remar plays a detective in this film. And James Remar is awesome. He's not in this film for more than 3 minutes, but he's in the film. Being this film starts off like a lot of the other two Blade films. Blade's killing vampires in a really shitty credit sequence. And he shoots this guy, and here he's familiar with the vampires. He's not even a vampire, but he has fake teeth in. He starts laughing, pulls his teeth out, and then dies while they film Blade to give Blade bad PRs to get the cops on his trail. Blade and Whistler go back to their compound. Whistler gives his speech to Blade about, "You're getting sloppy. We can't be killing humans. It's too messy. We'll have the cops on our tail, and they're probably looking for us right now. Killing vampires is clean. All that's left is some ash when we're done." 30 seconds later, the cops show up, and Whistler and Blade open fire on these police officers. Makes no freaking sense. Whistler gets shot and killed very unceremoniously in the first 10 minutes of the film. I know why they did it, because they have a lot of new characters that are pointless, and then we'll talk about that. But to kill off a character that's been with us since the first film like that is just shitty. I'm sorry. There's no other sugarcoating it. Blade gets taken into custody. He's getting interrogated, and the Night Stalkers, Hannibal King and Abigail Whistler show up and break him out, take him back to their compound, and explain to him that the vampires, we see the scene where the vampires resurrect Dracula, and they tell him about how they resurrected Dracula and probably to kill him and for the final vampire solution. And there's a cool scene where Hannibal King, as he's explaining it to him, Blade's kind of not believing him, he whips out a comic book of the Tomb of Dracula comic book, which I'm not a comic book reader, but I thought that was a pretty cool little in-joke there. So Blade's introduced to their whole team, and Dracula turns into, basically looks like a bodybuilder or a bouncer with really shitty clothes, and goes out walking around and kills two people in like a home-style hot topic store, because he's just thoroughly disgusted by the Dracula paraphernalia in the store, and he kills both people that work there. And the one cool aspect of this film, or I thought was a cool idea that they didn't explore enough, really, is blood farming. Blade and Abigail find out that the chief of police is a familiar to the vampires, and they follow him to this blood farm. And when they open the doors, all it is rows and rows, like four things high, of humans in these plastic bags, and are harvesting their blood. Here the vampires are medically inducing these people into a coma, and are harvesting them. They said the bodies, if they keep them alive in the state, they can produce so many pints of blood. And this is a better way of doing it, instead of going out and hunting one human at a time. So between Dracula and this is the vampire's final solution for world domination. Then to fast forward through some of this nonsensical plot, Blade and Abigail go to the main vampire headquarters, and we get our final fight between Blade and Dracula. And they kill Dracula, and Blade survives, and we get an after credit sequence, which doesn't mean shit because they never made another film based off of these three films, and that is Blade Trinity. Now, the positive things. I think Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel do the best they can with what they're given, which isn't much. Although I will contend their characters are totally unnecessary to this film, and they were a mistake bringing in. I know what they were doing, trying to placate to the teenagers and early 20-somethings, but if this was going to be the last Blade film, because the rights after this film came out, the rights went back to Marvel Studios to make Blade films, the movie should have been about Blade. Okay, I'm going to go into my negatives here, because there's not a lot of positives here. There's a lot of negatives here in this film. The blood farming idea is really cool. It's very underutilized. Bringing Dracula back, I think, is really cool to do and bring into this film. It's just they don't take advantage of it. It's very underutilized here. First of all, some context. It's reported that Wesley Snipes and Chris Christopherson were not happy with the script, and Wesley Snipes stopped talking to the cast and David S. Goyer. And Ryan Reynolds even said in an interview, "I never met Wesley Snipes on the set of Blade Trinity. I only met Blade." Wesley Snipes went total method on this film, and some days it's reported that he wouldn't even show up to shoot the scenes that he was supposed to shoot, so they'd use body doubles and CGI to put him in the scenes. So from right there, plus they kill Whistler off in the first 10 minutes, which was a huge disappointment. Even when I saw this in 2004, this movie never felt right. Even back then, I didn't care for it, but this is the first time I've probably seen this in about 15 years. At least. And then we have the bad directing. The action scenes are shot like shit, and they're edited so fast you can barely tell what's going on. And the action scenes are very underwhelming. Badly choreographed, badly shot, badly edited. Everything about this film is just yeah, it's not good, man. It's not good for the potential what this film could have been with a better actor in the Dracula role. Nothing against Dominic Purcell. He's trying his best for what he's given. I think that was the wrong route to go. I think there was a lot of opportunity here with that bringing Dracula into this, to bring some major horror elements into this film. And the monster makeup, when Dracula's in monster form, I love it. Except for when the mouth opens, because it's obviously CGI, and the CGI is still not great in this film. But the design of it is great. Unfortunately, it's only on screen for maybe a minute tops in this whole film, and we get Dominic Purcell looking like Dominic Purcell. I mean, he's trying here. I'm not bashing him. He was just miscast. Along with Parker Posey, gives a bizarre performance as Danica. Sometimes Parker Posey, I like her. In this film, I do not. I don't think she works here. You can tell Wesley Snipes didn't want to be there. He looks like he's sleepwalking through the scenes. And then even Blade becomes a side character, because there's all these new characters that you don't really give a shit about. And Blade's kind of pushed to the side. Yeah, he gets some action scenes that are very underwhelming, like I just said, because the action's very badly shot, badly choreographed, and badly edited. And the last sword fight at the end with Dracula, it's okay, but it's not exciting. The final battle at this building, it just happens. And even Ryan Reynolds, I'm going to say something negative about Ryan Reynolds. I like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is great at playing Ryan Reynolds. He's great as Deadpool. I like him in films. Here, he throws out so many quips so fast, he actually becomes annoying. And I couldn't wait for him to be off screen. And again, their characters take away from Blade. And I don't buy that Whistler had this other daughter out of wedlock that he never told Blade about, setting up these other factions of people that are hunting vampires, and never told Blade. I don't buy it. And supposedly Whistler was helping her set up these things. It's like, when do you have time? When Blade wasn't around, Blade didn't know this? It just smells of bullshit, and it doesn't make sense. The script was definitely underbaked. Could have used another pass. Yes, indeed. And why New Line gave this to David Goyer for his first film, considering it was a $65 million, pretty big budgeted action horror film. To give it to a first-time director, I just think was a huge mistake. They should have tried to get somebody with some passion for it. Not that David Goyer probably had passion for it, obviously, but somebody that knows what they're doing and knows how to shoot action. It's very apparent here that David Goyer does not know what the hell he's doing with action sequences. It's his first film. I don't blame him. I just think he was the wrong choice for this. And it shows when you watch this film. It's so choppy, so badly shot, and the script makes no freaking sense. There's holes in it that you could drive a semi-truck through. Overall, this is just a bad film. It's badly constructed. Blade is like a secondary character in his own film. The new characters I don't care about. Yes, Jessica Biel's fine here for what she's given to do, but I just don't give a shit about her character or the rest of her gang. And Ryan Reynolds, while he's very charismatic, he actually is kind of annoying in this film. And he gets his ass kicked a lot as well. Yeah, they could have did a lot with this premise, and they don't. It's very underutilized here. There was definitely potential there for this film to be badass. It just never reaches anything other than meh. So yeah, Blade Trinity, at the end of the day, I would give Blade Trinity a 4.5 out of 10. There's a few positive things in there, but there's a lot wrong with this film. And again, you could tell Wesley Snipes didn't want to be there. He looks bored and uninterested, and that's never good when your star of your film doesn't look like he wants to be there. So yeah, 4.5, 10 for Blade Trinity. What do you think about this film? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Share. Just really, really would appreciate that. I'll be back next week for a review for The Fog and a remake of The Fog. And I'll have a review for My Bloody Valentine, the original uncut version. Yes, those are all coming your way. But until then, I hope you're all doing well out there. And bye.